probably the most influential music in my life. Hey everybody, Jim Ellis here, the Unemployed Entrepreneur. Today's video is going to be pretty much right here at the keyboard, so I'm not going to go through all the fancy work of using the microphone or anything. Let me remind you that the unemployed part of Unemployed Entrepreneur is never permanent. We're always working, we're always doing our best to help others, and sometimes we don't get paid to do it. Now, today is day 10 of my series of music that inspired me, based on the Facebook challenge where you're supposed to put artwork on Facebook and make no explanation. Well, here I'm making the explanation, and this one may take me a while, so I'm going to just be real succinct here at the beginning and tell you about Lindell Cooley. You see, in 1996, I went to my very first full-time worship pastor position in Council Bluffs, Iowa. And it was there, which was, of course, this was a year after the revival started in Brownsville in 1995. And Lindell Cooley had already made recordings and was in the process of making more. And people told me that I actually led worship like Lindell Cooley, that I reminded them of Lindell Cooley. And at that point, I had never seen him. And I started listening to some of his albums. I actually saw some videos and started going, I guess I am a little bit like him. Unfortunately, I don't have the hair. I ended up doing quite a few of his songs. I could not possibly nail it down to one album. There are several songs and a couple of different albums that have made a huge impact, two of which, one would be Send the Fire. Back when we were in Iowa, in Council Bluffs, we actually went with a group of people to what was called an Awake America event that the Brownsville church had put on and started touring across the country. And it was in, I want to say Cedar Rapids. I may be wrong on that, but I think it was in Cedar Rapids. But we went, we enjoyed it. It was fun. It was great to see the live worship and being experience and all that. And then the album Send the Fire came out a year or so later when I was in Florida. And turns out that recording took place at that Awake America event that my wife and I went to. Blew our minds. Had no idea. We didn't even know it was being recorded. But we were there. So the album Send the Fire, we were there. I mentioned on my previous video at the end, hopefully not to the offense of anybody. That's not how it was meant or what was meant. No offense at all. I don't care for hymns as a regular or as a general rule. However, when somebody modernizes them, if you will, there's a song written by William Booth, the founder of the, the Salvation Army. Oh God of burning, cleansing flame, send the fire. Your blood-bought gift today we claim. Send the fire today. It's a guitar solo. But he took the song and he turned it into this rock anthem, if you will, almost rock anthem. Again, him. Sorry, another one he did outside of that album. I'm going to come back to that album in a minute, but one of my absolute favorite hymns because of this. Am I in the right key? No, it's in B flat. Blues rock. Once like a bird in prison I dwell. No freedom from my sorrow I felt. Jesus came and listened to me. Glory to God. He said, oh, wrong chord. Set me free. He set me free. Yes, he set me free. He broke the bonds of prison for me. To see. Glory to God, He set me free. You gotta have the drums and the guitars, and you get my drift. But that one I did. Now, on the original recording of that, I believe it was on Winds of Worship 7, which was a compilation with Andy Park from Vineyard, Toronto. The song goes, the track goes for 7+ minutes. The song is only like 2.5. So the worship that is taking place in the interim, and of course they do a, what is the word? Come on, I know the word. They do a reprise, not a reprise, encore. I guess you'd call it more of a reprise than an encore. But it is truly over the top. So moving on, after Send the Fire, I'm not sure the relation. I haven't looked at the, what's the word I'm looking for? I haven't looked at the chronology of his albums, if you will. But he also put out an album called Open Up the Sky. Now, if you've been watching any of my worship of the day videos, you've heard me sing songs off this album. Like, Father, I just want to be where you are. My life is filled with everything but you. Lord, I really want to see your glory. Let the fire of heaven fall on me. Can you feel my passion? Can you see my hunger? And do you know how I long for you? No walls between us. Take away this darkness and come break this heart of stone. And hear my cry. Open up the sky. Guitar solo. And it goes right into one of my favorites. If you got a burden too heavy, you can leave it at the cross. If your lonely heart is breaking, just call upon the one wounded for the lost, 'cause he rolled the stone away. That's my Lord, set the prisoner free. That's my Lord, let the worship rise. Let the people sing about the mercy of the Lamb who is a king. That's my Lord. And later in that album, he does one of my favorites, which I've also done live. I put my faith in you. You are the one who will never leave me. I put my faith in you. No matter where the road may lead me, you are my Savior, my closest friend. One touch from you and I'm born again. I put my faith in you. And a little earlier, I think it was last week. Yeah, last week I did the song. It's time for the dead to rise. It's time for the wings to fly. The song's of freedom. I'm messing up the words. It's time for the dead and gone. Time for the broken ones to live again. I can hear the calling. I can hear the sound of rain. Over the mountains and over the valleys, I hear the calling. It's time. I could go all day. Let's see, what other songs are on that album? I didn't even take that. The album's made a huge impact. Oh, let's go back to, I've done this one too. Let's go back to Send the Fire. Deep within, there's a fire that can't be quenched. There's a love for you, strong as death. Hear us, Lord, hear the longing of our hearts. want to be where you are and not apart. We feel you near, your presence is all around us. Oh Lord, we want to see your face. Come take us away. Spirit and the bride, we cry out to you. Oh, we cry out to you. Come quickly. We long for the day we will see your face. Oh, we long to be with you. Come quickly and breathe on us until you come. Oh, breathe on us till you come. That was pretty much the closing song on that album. But then there's a tag on that we used to do all the time. A lot of churches used to do. Well, what the Lord has done. What is it? What? I haven't done this in years. He healed my body. He touched my mind. He saved me. It was just in time. Oh, I'm gonna praise His name. Today He's just the same. Come on and praise Him. What the Lord has done. And it goes to, can you believe what the Lord has done in me? Can you believe what the Lord has done in me? He gave me, cleansed me, turned my life around, set my feet upon the solid ground. Can you believe what the Lord has done in me? And then it goes right into I went. Oh, it actually starts. I'm sorry. It starts with I went to the enemy's camp, took back what he stole from me, took back what he stole from me, took back what he stole from me. I went to the enemy's camp, and you're waiting on me. Took back what he stole from me. He's under my feet. 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 Satan is under my feet. And anyway, it rolled. I mean, if you were back around in that days, you know the song I'm talking about. Wow, I'm getting really long in this video, but and there won't be a whole lot of editing because I'm just playing around, showing you who I really am here. But I do want to move on to one more song. He did an album after he moved to Nashville, became a pastor. And again, I never mean any disrespect when I say things like this, but some writers write great songs and sing them well. Some writers write great songs and don't sing them so well. They're not real good arrangers. Lindell Cooley and the group he used was a really good arranger. Nothing wrong with this song, even in the original form that Carrie Job wrote and did. I believe Carrie wrote it. I may be wrong about that. But I know you know the song. Well, that's not how she does it. That's how Lindell does it, and it's with a guitar. Songs that a pastor came to me that I was working for in Kingman said, I want you to do this song. And this was really the first time I heard it. I hadn't heard Carrie Job do it. And I still prefer this way. In fact, I don't think I've done this song live worship yet, or my worship of the day video, so I may have just found it for today. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain, holy, holy is He. We sing a new song think you can honestly say, I can honestly say that Lindell Cooley and what he did in the Brownsville revival is probably the most influential music in my life. You have to understand the songs off of that album, Open Up the Sky, for the most part, coming back almost 20 years later and doing Worship of the Day. Most of the songs that I have played off that album, I've either needed just a quick little refresher, or I've done without even thinking about it. That's how much influence they had on me. So I would encourage you, if you're into worship music at all and never heard of Lindell Cooley, like I said in my last video, if you're new to this, if you haven't been in worship music for years, this stuff's 20 plus years old, but it's still modern even to this day. And actually, I think it paved the way for a lot of the worship we see going on the radio and things like that today, Chris Tomlin and all that. So again, thanks for joining me today. Hope you've enjoyed it. First time, I think, in the entire time I've been doing my unemployed entrepreneur video that I've actually sat down at the piano and done mostly piano. So I'll probably try to edit out some of the junk in between and give you a good quality video here for the day. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you'll like it and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. Love you guys. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.